And the days of David drew near to die, and he commanded Shelemah his son, saying, I am going the way of all the earth, and you shall be strong and be a man, and to guard the charge of Yahweh your Elohim, to walk in his ways, to guard his laws, his commands, his right rulings, and his witnesses, as it is written in the Torah of Moshe, so that you do wisely in all that you do, and wherever you turn. So that Yahweh establishes his word which he spoke concerning me, saying, If your sons guard their way, to walk before me in truth, with all their heart and with all their being, saying, There is not to cease a man of yours on the throne of Israel. And also you know what Joab son of Zeruiah did to me, and what he did to the two commanders of the armies of Israel, to Abner son of Ner, and Amasa son of Jether, that he slew them, and shed the blood of battle in peace, and put the blood of battle on his belt that was around his waist, and on his sandals that were on his feet. So act according to your wisdom, and do not let his gray hair go down to the grave in peace, but show kindness to the sons of Barzillai the Gileadite, and let them be among those who eat at your table. For so they came to me when I fled from Absalom your brother. And see, with you is Shimei, son of Gerah, the Benjamite from Bahurim, who cursed me with a grievous cursing in the day when I went to Mahanaim. But he came down to meet me at the Jordan, and I swore to him by Yahweh, saying, I shall not put you to death with the sword. And now, do not leave him unpunished, for you are a wise man, and know what you should do to him, and shall bring his gray hair down to the grave with blood. And David slept with his fathers, and was buried in the city of David. And the days that David reigned over Israel was 40 years. He reigned 7 years in Hebron, and in Jerusalem he reigned 33 years. And Shelemah sat on the throne of his father David, and his reign was firmly established. And Adoniah, son of Haggith, came to Bathsheba, the mother of Shelemah, and she said, Do you come in peace? And he said, Peace. And he said, I have a word for you. And she said, Speak. And he said, You know that the reign was mine, and all Israel had turned their faces toward me, that I should reign. But the reign has been turned around, and has become my brother's, for it was his from Yahweh. And now I am making a request of you. Do not refuse me. And she said to him, Say it. And he said, Please speak to sovereign Shelemah, for he would not refuse you, to give me Abishag the Shumanite as wife. And Bathsheba said, Good, let me speak for you to the sovereign. And Bathsheba came to sovereign Shelemah to speak to him for Adoniah. And the sovereign rose up to meet her, and bowed down to her, and sat down on his throne, and had a throne put for the sovereign's mother. So she sat at his right hand. And she said, I am making one small request of you. Do not refuse me. And the sovereign said to her, Ask it, my mother, for I do not refuse you. Then she said, Let Abishag the Shumanite be given to Adoniah your brother as wife. And sovereign Shelemah answered and said to his mother, Now why do you ask Abishag the Shumanite for Adoniah? Ask for him the reign also, for he is my older brother. For him, and for Abiathar the Cohen, and for Joab son of Zeruiah. And sovereign Shelemah swore by Yahweh, saying, Elohim does so to me, and more also, if Adoniah has not spoken this word against his own life. And now, as Yahweh lives, who established me and put me on the throne of David my father, and who has made me a house, as he promised, Adoniah shall be put to death today. And sovereign Shelemah sent by the hand of Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, and he fell upon him, and he died. Then the sovereign said to Abiathar the Cohen, Go to Anathoth at your own fields, for you deserve death. But I do not put you to death at this time, because you bore the ark of the Adon Yahweh before my father David, and because you were afflicted in all my father was afflicted in. So Shelemah dismissed Abiathar from being Cohen to Yahweh, to fill the word of Yahweh, which he spoke concerning the house of Eli at Shiloh. And news came to Joab, for Joab had turned aside after Adoniah, though he did not turn aside after Absalom. And Joab fled to the tent of Yahweh, and took hold of the horns of the altar, And a report came to sovereign Shelemah that Joab had fled to the tent of Yahweh, and see, he is by the altar. Then Shelemah sent Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, saying, Go, fall on him. So Benaiah came to the tent of Yahweh and said to him, Thus said the sovereign, Come out. And he said, No, for here I die. And Benaiah brought back word to the sovereign, saying, Thus said Joab, and thus he answered me. And the sovereign said to him, Do as he has said, and fall upon him, and you shall bury him, so that he take away from me and from the house of my father the blood which Joab shed without cause. Thus Yahweh shall return his blood on his head, because he hath fallen on 2 men more righteous and better than he, and slew them with the sword, while my father David did not know it. Abner son of Ner, commander of the army of Yisrael, and Amasa son of Jether, commander of the army of Yehuda. So shall their blood return upon the head of Joab, and upon the head of his seed forever. But upon David and his seed, upon his house and his throne, there is to be peace forever from Yahweh. Then Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, went up and fell upon him and put him to death. And he was buried in his own house in the wilderness. And the sovereign put Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, in his place over the army. And the sovereign put Zadok the Cohen in the place of Abiathar. And the sovereign sent and called for Shimei, and said to him, Build yourself a house in Jerusalem, and dwell there, and do not go out from there anywhere. And it shall be, on the day you go out and pass over the Wadi Kedron, know for certain that you shall die. Your blood is on your own head. And Shimei said to the sovereign, The word is good, as my master the sovereign has said, so your servant does. So Shimei dwelt in Jerusalem many days. And it came to be at the end of 3 years that 2 slaves of Shimei fled to Achish, son of Maacah, sovereign of Gath. And they informed Shimei, saying, See, your slaves are in Gath. And Shimei rose up and saddled his donkey and went to Achish at Gath to look for his slaves. And Shimei went and brought his slaves from Gath. And Shelemah was told that Shimei had gone from Jerusalem to Gath, and he had come back. So the sovereign sent and called for Shimei and said to him, Did I not make you swear by Yahweh and warn you, saying, Know for certain that on the day you leave to go anywhere, you shall certainly die? And you said to me, The word I have heard is good. And why have you not guarded the oath of Yahweh and the command that I gave you? The sovereign also said to Shimei, You shall know all the evil that your heart has known, that you did to my father David, and Yahweh shall return your evil on your own head. But sovereign Shelemah is Baruch, and the throne of David is established before Yahweh forever. So the sovereign ordered Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, and he went out and fell on him, and he died. And the reign was established in the hand of Shelemah.